Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. So this is a bit weird because we're in colour. The reason why is because today I'm not going to be discussing anything true crime or spooky related, so I felt that this one could be in colour. This video is, and I'm smiling because it's such a weird thing that I never thought would happen, but it has been today 1 year, that's two, I was going to do that, 1 year, but that's two of them, 1 whole year, I'll say that one more time, on YouTube. And for a lot of people that's probably not a massive deal, but for me, someone who wanted to do this forever, it just seems a really big deal. Sorry, I've just moved positions because I was just really comfortable there and this feels better. I never thought that I would actually complete a whole year on YouTube. And I mean, my upload schedule has been pretty shocking, but we're here. The channel is still alive, content is still coming out, and I'm really happy about that. So I had no idea what to do for my first anniversary video. So I asked my friends if they have got any questions for me, and they gave me a couple. So I thought that would be kind of cool to put into this video. So the first question I always get asked is, why do you like true crime? And I think that's an interesting question because I wouldn't say I like true crime. I'm fascinated by it. So I did law, and for me, it's all about justice. And if you're into your astrology, I know a lot of people aren't, and I apologise to those people, but I am a Libra, and it is scales, and so you want to be equal on both sides, and that's how I feel with the justice system. I'm interested in true crime because I want to know what happened to the victims, and I also want to know what sentences were given to the abusers or the murderers. And I feel that most of the time the sentences are completely unjustifiable because they're not enough. I also went to a psychology of serial killers show, and this question was asked, why do people find enjoyment in watching true crime? And actually she responded with something which I found very interesting. So she said it's more of a fear response in us. The fight or flight, it's kind of like that. So she said that the more we know about true crime, the more we can kind of identify those red flags in our own lives and potentially look after ourselves and keep ourselves safe. So if you have anxiety or anything similar, it's actually a way of protecting yourself. And I feel completely aligned with that because that's how I feel with true crime. I'm interested in it, not because I'm in any way, there's them people, there's those people that are obsessed with serial killers and they actually admire them or like them. There's the people that go on serial killer tours so they can speak with the dead, and some girls get a bit too I don't know if I can say the words on YouTube, but they get quite excited by the potential of speaking with a serial killer. And then you have the people that message those as like pen pals in prison. I've never in a million years is that what I am interested in. I'm interested in the crime and I'm interested in the justice behind it. I also really love to do the research because when I watch true crime, I do find that it's either done in a way that romanticizes the villain, if you will, the murderer, the abuser, and there's not a lot said about the victim. So I hope in my content that I focus more on the victim and tell their side more so than talking about the person who committed the crimes. So yeah, in short, I wouldn't say I like true crime. I like the criminology and the sentencing behind those cases. The second question asked to me was, why did you want to start YouTube? Fun fact, or maybe not fun at all, I have done YouTube for years. So I started off doing a gaming channel, which was just horrific. Weirdly enough, when I game, I'm incredibly concentrating on the game because I'm actually like a trophy hunter or an achievement hunter and I want to get everything. So I am incredibly focused on searching around the games. And so when I was recording myself, I realized that half of it was me saying nothing, which for a gaming channel I think is kind of the point because you want to hear that person's thoughts. So when I was doing it, I don't feel like I was the best person for it. I then moved into another part of YouTube where because I go to a lot of gigs, concerts, whatever you call them, and so I was uploading those onto a channel as well. And then I realised that, like I say, I was interested in true crime, and the stories and cases that I was listening to weren't deep enough for me. I'm not saying I'm the best YouTuber out there for true crime. By far, I am not. But doing my own research was really interesting, and I thought that whatever I find out, maybe other people would like to find out too. Hence, Sarah Sinister was made. The third question that my friends have asked me is, what scares me? I'm terrified of spiders. Like, I am terrified. If one's in the room, I can't sleep, or I kind of go into like this petrified state where I can't move. It's that, or I go into the complete opposite of jumping up on something and just screaming. Like, I know people are scared of spiders. It's very, very common. I'm terrified. Like, I can't go near them. It's the only thing as well that puts me off food. I can watch anything on the telly when I'm eating. Anything. Like if there's naked bodies or like naked attraction or, you know, a gory game that I'm watching. Anything. But if a spider comes on the screen, I'm like, no, can't eat that. Put that away from me. So yeah, I just had a thought as well. So I have a really weird fear of balloons. Yeah. For me, it's not if they're in the room and just being good little balloons. It's especially if a child gets a balloon, it freaks me out and I have to leave because I know that they're potentially likely to burst it. And I don't like anticipating the sudden noise. Don't like it. And I hate that. Does that make any sense? Like a balloon does, that horrible sound. I can't stand it. No. So balloons and spiders absolutely freak me out. The fourth question I was asked was, what true crime case upsets you the most? Honestly, all of them. Because then someone has died or someone has been abused to the point of losing who they are. All of them, but there is one that really, really gets to me, and it's a case that I don't know if I can ever cover. It is a very, very interesting case, but it's also incredibly sad. And when I first heard about it, I didn't really sleep for about a week because I just couldn't stop thinking about it. It's the case of Susan Capper. If you haven't heard about it, please feel free to read up on it or don't. She was a beautiful, lovely, sweet girl, and she was tortured beyond belief. And the bit that sticks with me, I mean all of it does, but the bit that comes back to me every now and again is this song that they played. So when they would go in and torture her, they would play this song, and she would just know then that she was about to be complete and utterly tormented, tortured, and it's a like club version of, you know, the little toy Chucky. So he says, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" But they've made it into like a club song. I think it was in the 90s, and it is just, I think because as well, you know that she was hearing that and then getting tortured on the back of it. But the song itself is completely demonic, and it's just really creepy, and so much so that there's a Venga Boys song that starts off similar in the sound, and if I hear that, I just completely tense up because I'm like, I can't listen to it because it freaks me out so much. Susan's case, or Miss Capper's case to be respectful, is incredibly interesting, and she deserves her story to be told, but I don't know if I could ever do it because it triggers me at the same time. Question 5 is, what have I learnt in a year? In a year, I think I've worked out that an upload schedule is a really hard thing to meet every week or every month or whenever you do it, because life gets in the way. It's an incredibly hard one to manage. I've also learnt that when you have a faced channel, so myself talking to you, there will always be people on the internet who don't like you. And I've had a few people have just, you know, given me comments about my looks or how I say things, or And that's fine, because you do put yourself on the internet to be on the internet, and people will be as they are on the internet. But I think I needed to give myself a little self-care before I uploaded the first couple of videos, because I wasn't expecting such harsh comments. And now I'm over it. I'm okay with it. I literally, if you send a harsh comment, so if you decide to put one on this video or any any video in the future, I will just delete them and I will block you. So it means very little to me. But at the start, when people were going for my literal appearance or my personality or how I say things, my tone, etc., it was a little bit hard to hear. But like I say, if you upset me now, there is a block button for a reason. How do you choose video topics? Well, I love to get recommendations, because that helps me know exactly what the viewers want to see. But I also want to go into topics that I find really interesting. So I am deeply interested in like the spooky side of life, but also interested in true crime. So I try and find cases or like haunted buildings or something like that that I personally find very interesting. And then, like I say, I just bring them to you because you might want to hear about it too. There are also cases and topics that I will never speak about, just because everyone has done one and I don't see the point of doing my own one. Ted Bundy, for example, I'm never going to touch that case. Why? Because there's probably about 1 million videos out there of other people talking about Ted Bundy, and honestly, they could probably do a much better job than I could. John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer are the top 3 that I can think of that I will probably never cover, because I just think, what is the point? And the last question given to me by my friends is, what else are you interested in? I am very interested in video games. My favourite game of all time is BioShock, but it is very closely followed by Red Dead Redemption 2. I love Rockstar. I love all the Grand Theft Autos. I've played them all. And I love both Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2. However, Red Dead Redemption 2 had one of the best storylines and gameplays I've ever immersed myself in. I absolutely love it. I've played it about 6 times and completed it about 3, but I love that game so much. The third game, which is probably my top 3, so BioShock, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, because Ghost of Tsushima it blew my mind. It's absolutely stunning, and again, a great storyline to play through and really fun. Like, once you get towards the end, you get some serious abilities that just make everything so much more fun. But then I also love things like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, because they were the games that I grew up with. So the nostalgia there is never lost on me. And if you're talking about consoles, or handheld consoles, excuse me, then it has to be Pokemon. And it has to be probably Pokemon Crystal. The quality went right up, which was amazing. And I wanted to say Pokemon Yellow because it's the first one I ever had, and Pikachu follows you around and all of that. But for me, when I first opened the box with Pokemon Crystal in it and the cartridge was glittery, it was like a glittery blue, I was just so excited. Like, I was just the happiest child. And I started to understand, because when I first played Pokemon Yellow, I was really young. So I could kind of, get around, and I did complete it. But when I got to sort of Crystal times, I had a clear understanding of what I needed to do, and it was just more fun to play with. And plus you could then trade with your friends, and by that point everyone had a handheld game console and Pokemon. So that aspect of socialising through video games was epic for me. I also love movies. I think my favourite genre is thriller, just because I love to be completely engrossed in a movie and then almost be shocked by the ending, or be like, oh yeah, that film was incredible because the storyline was completely captivating, or something happened that just blew my mind. So thrillers are like my favourite movies. I'm a bit of a movie buff, but please don't quiz me because I'll say that and then it won't be anything I know the actual answer to. But I really do love movies as well. I'm into spooky decor, I guess. You can never have enough spooky decor, so I'm always found trying to hunt down Halloween related items that I enjoy. And I'm a big animal lover. I have 2 cats, which you'll probably see and hear in some of these videos, and I absolutely adore them. They're like my children. They're like, I call them my fur children because they're not, you know, actual babies, but I treat them as such. I think the last thing that I want to say on this video is just thank you. Just thank you. I say it on most of the end of my videos, you know, thank you for watching, but truly thank you. If you have been here from the start, I appreciate you so much more than you'll ever know, because this has always been something I've wanted to do, YouTube. I just love YouTube as a platform, and you're the reason why I can keep coming back. And the people that like a video, comment, and have subscribed, thank you so much, because you keep me coming back and you keep my videos being seen by other people. So I really appreciate you being here. I really don't know what else to say. Like, I wanted to do a video for my year anniversary, but I also was like, is it that big of an achievement to anyone but yourself? But if you have watched this video, thank you so much. It was just a really, really quick one, just to celebrate the 1 year. But if you have watched to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, as you know, and I really hope to see you in the next one. If you have any questions for me, please drop them below. If you have any recommendations, please drop them below, and I hope to speak to you all very soon. But that's all from me, and bye-bye for now.